Yeah, I can have.
Also, Secret Service protection, as the car began to move, there were people that were supposed to run alongside his car. That protection was withdrawn. Oswald could not have done that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
And there's also a theory that he didn't kill him.
The shot to the forehead from the front came from the sewer.
Wow.
In front of him.
Yeah.
That's not where Oswald was.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's all I'll say at this point.
Okay, yeah, that's good. The next question, and I think this is more like a personal question. Do you have future plans besides your participation in the Awakeners movie, like lectures or any other projects for the future?
Well, with the economic times that we're experiencing here in the States, my first priority is, of course, supporting
your family
and taking care of my family.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
5 children, 4 boys and a girl, and they are all under the ages of 13. So we have our hands full. 2 are going into puberty. Or actually 3 will be going in various stages of puberty, and 1 will be in, my daughter bringing up the rear. She's 7 going on 21. So we have our hands full there. At this point, I don't the economics, and we struggle. We've been struggling to make ends meet. My focus has been specifically on just trying to do that.
Okay.
At this point, I don't know about anything way out into the future, long term. I just don't know, because things are changing so quickly here in the United States that it's literally, we'll take it, sometimes a day and sometimes a week at a time.
Okay.
So, but my first priority is the welfare of my family.
Okay, you.
And that's my responsibility as a father and as a husband.
Okay, I understand that. You can come to Mexico if you want.
Well, thank you. I think Mexico's pretty ripe for a second revolution here with all the drug things going on, and the
yeah, that.
It would be nice to have that kind of situation kind of stabilized, at some point. We'll just have to see. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't know. If America falls into fascism, where does one go to want to live free?
I think
that's the question.
I think that here on Earth, there's no place without slavery. I think it sounds very awful, but you cannot go anywhere if you are not being recorded, if you are not being watched, if you are not being controlled, if you don't have to pay for this, pay for that, don't do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, and that's very awful.
I know, and to me it's insanity. It's insanity that someone would create that type of reality, not only for us, but for themselves.
Sure.
That you would actually go so far as to not only enslave all of humanity, but yourselves and your own children's children.
Yeah.
What kind of a mindset does that? Obviously, it's someone that has a very deep fear of freedom.
Yes.
And you got to feel sorry for someone like that, but at the same time, you can only push humanity so far before they are going to completely rebel, and then there will be no place for them to hide on Earth, having done all this to humanity. There will be some type of retribution.
Yeah. You have mentioned something interesting when we start this conversation regarding my country, Mexico. And I don't know if you know something regarding to the government here in Mexico is very I don't know if the word is could be scared or afraid of a kind of social movement, or actually, as you said, a revolution. Because I know, and I got a little information regarding, and I don't have, I don't have actually know exactly things of this, but what is going on regarding the drugs, the fight from the government, from the federal government to the criminals, and I think that they are trying to set up an scenario in where some people, because I heard this from some contacts that I have, some people in some regions of Mexico they are just, as you said, very stressed and tired about what the government is doing with the life of the people, and they are on arms, and they are making some kind of social movement with arms, and armies fighting against them, and on the TV, the television are presenting these confrontations as if they are fighting against the criminals or the bad ones. Do you know something about that?
Well, I don't have any specific information regarding that. I don't necessarily believe the press at all. Because there's always two sides, sometimes three sides to every story.
Mm-hmm.
There's their perspective of the government's perspective, then there's the people's perspective, and then there's the truth somewhere in the middle that gets lost between the extremes. But the founding fathers of America were called criminals as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And the old adage, one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's truth to both of those scenarios. What isn't being probably covered is what is really best for humanity. I mean, if you continue to do the same things over and over and over again and they don't work, and you keep doing them again over and over and over again expecting a different result, that's clinically called insanity.
Yeah.
And I think our governments have become insane.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because they don't really want to evolve, they don't want to change, and they simply are not listening to the people. They basically have created a bureaucracy that feeds off the people just to keep themselves in power.
Yeah, sure.
And that model just simply doesn't work anymore, and it's not going to be continue to continue much longer.
Yeah.
Because humanity is fed up.
Yeah, because actually I heard...
And I say humanity on a global perspective, we are fed up.
Yeah, I know. Actually I heard from some sources here that for the next year, the downtown, how do I say this? Mexico City will be covered completely by the military, and it's very awful to have that scenario, because I heard this from someone who's in contact with some people on the government, and he told me that for the next year, actually the government want to do is to prepare for something that has that's for something that has passed the 100 years ago and 200 years ago. 200 years ago passed the independence of Mexico, and then 100 years ago was the revolution, and they are expecting a social movement 1,000 years later. So that day is that day